What's up, everybody? Dave from Heaven's Pit here. I hope you guys are doing well. Just wanted to get on here and say we are working on our next event, May 9th. Got a pretty cool headliner. God's brought together some pretty cool bands, some bands that's played for us before. Working on some details and be ready to release who's on it. But we also got February 28th, our Extreme Unity, our sister ministry, the Metal Church for Jesus. We're holding our first service of the year, 2026, February 28th. Going to drop the ball on this a little bit for you guys, but if you know Reclaim Today, they're going to be doing the heavy worship. And then they're going to be doing some of their own originals. We're going to have a message. We're going to have prayer time. And then we're going to all eat together. Maybe not a full meal like we started off with, because it becomes, it's a lot for us. But we'll see what direction God takes the fellowship and meal time with. Super stoked. So look out for that, guys. Want to talk a little bit about this morning, and what God gave me. I made a post on Facebook, so if you've seen it, it's kind of related to that. This walk with Christ is the hardest thing we'll ever do. He doesn't come to us and say, you got to give up this, or you got to stop this, or you got to do that. It's a slow progression, right? It's like baby steps, right? We have to realize that whatever it is separating us from Jesus, separating us from this sanctification with Jesus, which is how God looks at us. That's where He wants us to be. He wants us to have His sanctification with Him. This peace, His humbleness with Him, and often we have to give up things. I remember when I first came back to Christ 16 years ago, a little over 16 years ago, I was a huge Manson fan, and I had to get rid of, I had tarot cards, I had action figures, I had a lot of stuff, I've held on to some CDs, people might think that I'm crazy, and then I've thrown other things away. I have some rare cassette recordings of Manson doing Come Together by the Beatles, which is weird, but it's a phenomenal recording. Or not phenomenal recording, but a phenomenal version of it. Crappy recording. But 16 years later, he's calling me as these years go by, it's like boom, 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 right? And He's put something heavy on my heart here recently. I got conviction for part of it, and now He's kind of showing me the other side of this conviction, and if I'm supposed to walk down this path. And it's not really important about what it is right now, because it's not about what, God released me from this and said I can't do this. No. This is personally my walk. This is personally where I'm at. And one thing that I'm learning is it really is the things of this world that keeps us from Jesus. Not just sin, but the things that He may not want me to do that you do, right? Because of the way that He designed me and my DNA and my heart and my spirit, right? So what might be something good for me is not good for everybody else. And that's hard, right? I've lived a lot of years most of my adult life, more than half of my adult life, single because of bad choices and whatnot, and moving forwards into the dating world and in a relationship. I've formed my habits, I've formed these things, and then I'm like, yep, I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to do it, right? But as I move forwards in this new journey that God has me on, it's like, whoa, I start thinking about, my household, my family, leading my family and my lady and all that, right? Because we only have a limited time on this earth, and I don't know, but I think we hear that sin separates us from Him. Not being obedient separates us from Him. God says to not be of the world. Well, being of the world, like what things are you doing that is causing you to be separate from Him, right? So I don't know where he's going with that, but I will tell you this, and I want to tie this in with the whole Gothic thing. Learn a little bit more about that. I'll be touching back base on that. But in my experience, in the Gothic culture, metal culture, are some of the most genuinest people with the most depth that you will ever find, especially the goth side. There's so much depth there. They've come in tune with who they are at an early age, and that's been me. Like I knew who I was. I found myself at an early age in high school, and I'm pretty much the same, minus the drugs and the drinking and the addictions and the trauma that I've healed from. And I think this depthness is more than just a worship time that we have. This depthness that is carried in this culture of people and people like us. It's really, we turn around and we look and we're like, man, do you really want me to give that up? Is this really what you want me to do? I mean, it's not bad. It's not awful what I'm doing. Others are doing it. He's tailoring you for the kind of heart He's given you. So, I don't know. That's a deep thought that I had. And it really is this simple. Christ is King. When we look at it from a simple aspect, Christ is King. That's it. Not Jesus. Not Messiah. You can flip-flop it any way you want it. And I'm saying Christ is King because of impending dooms. Christ is King. It's a very simple message, and that's it. Christ is King. So what is it that He wants for you? What is it that He doesn't want for you? Not just sin, but the things that cripple you from having this sanctification with the Lord. Ask yourself that. Talk at you later.